All right, I'm back at you with the similar item, just a different part of the city. Um, we tried not to raise the rates too high for you, Cash. So the item before you here is the same thing. It's here in regards to the Walden area, the residential streetlight maintenance district, and the Terra Buena residential streetlight maintenance district. These areas were annexed from the county into the city, and so I believe the lights are owned by PG&E, and we pay the power bill. Well, the residents pay the power bill, but we're kind of the pass through. So with that, we need to establish an annual report, evaluate the districts, see how much money we're expending, and seeing how much money we need to levy to continue that district. So with these items, it would again direct you to file the annual report, and then set a resolution of intention to order the improvements, which establishes the levy amounts, and then set a public hearing for August 18th, 2015. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Ben, you mentioned that PG&E owns the lights in these areas. The city went through and did a retrofit and changed the lighting to LED a number of years back. Has PG&E done that in these areas yet?
So when we did the retrofit program, it was only on the city's street lights. Recently, PG&E has gone through and they had a lot of center bore, old wood poles, and they've swapped those out to steel poles. And so with that project, we required PG&E to upgrade the light to an LED light. They wanted to keep the old halogen. And so my understanding is that these were were these the center bores? There's still mismatch in there. But some of the PG&E poles have been upgraded to LEDs.
Is there any leverage that we have to get them to change the rest of those over?
All LEDs now, right? No.
Not really, huh?
Yeah, when we get an opportunity, we will definitely press to switch them over.
Because that's obviously, like you mentioned, the residents are really paying for that. So if they could have LED lighting, it would actually cost less to operate those lights in the future. So it would be nice to have them catch up with what we've done in the rest of the city also.
Through the mayor.
Yes.
In other words, the program that we, as the city, did to upgrade did not allow us to apply for the upgrade within our own city limits and apply that funding towards, even though they're owned by PG&E, because it's our citizens that are paying the cost. So there is a direct link that is very strong. Could that argument be utilized for a grant or a program to make that happen?
The program that we utilized a few years back was a loan program, and so it basically it put that fixture, the cost to switch to the LED, and we continue paying the halogen or the high pressure sodium rate until that fixture is paid off, and then it drops down to the LED rate. So technically, we haven't really got to
realize the savings
we will at this point. But definitely, any new zones that go in, the standard is LED light. And when PG&E comes in with encroachment permit or work on those lights, we definitely put the pressure to try to make them switch.
Well, if it's grants, I didn't know that. I didn't realize it was a loan, but I know on loans they're much stricter on things. But if it's a grant, actually they do usually allow some things like that to happen. But thanks for the clarification on that.
All right.
Mr. Mayor,
yes.
Just as a point of clarification, just for the public's benefit, when the city replaced the lighting with LED, those were lights that we acquired in around the year 2000, 2001. So the area that you're looking on this map right here was not in the city at that time. Had it been in the city, we would have acquired these as well. It was a county-developed area. With time, we would like to go back and go and acquire these lights as well. It's quite an extensive process. PG&E does not want to give up their lights that they own, but that is something that, as time passes, we have the potential to be able to gain control of these lights and transfer them over to LED. Should we not be able to use, as you say, leverage in another way? So,
all right. Thank you for that clarification. All right, entertain a motion on this item.
Move to approve.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right.